precinct in Cleveland
Yes.
as a...
Polling location coordinator.
Okay, tell us your story.
Okay, I'm Mike Griffith. Normally I always work as a polling location coordinator. Before that, election day technician. I usually like to get whatever position it is that's the top position in my voting area, so that if something's going on, I know what's going on in all places. This last election was the first time I didn't do that. But on the November 6, 2012 election, I was working the greeters table, and this woman came in and wanted to vote. She had a Florida driver's license. And I explained we can't use that. She needed something for where she lives now. And she said that, well, she's only lived there for a month, and she doesn't have any identification for living in her present location. So I explained to her the different forms of identification that were permissible. And she said, well, oh, excuse me. She said, well, I don't have any of those. And I said, well, that's all, it has to be one of those in order to vote. We can't use that Florida's driver's license. And she got rather upset and walked out. Came back a little while later and walked past me and went to the precinct where she was supposed to vote and told them that she had talked to the Board of Elections and they had said this other thing was legal to vote, to use for her identification. I have no idea what it was. Nobody called the Board of Elections to double check that to see whether or not that really was the case. They said, okay, they had to vote provisionally. And she did and walked out. It wasn't too well after she left that somebody found the provisional envelope in the voting booth. What she had done was voted on that, but instead of going over and going back to the provisional table where she was supposed to be, she just walked over and she ran it through the DS200 scanner. So her vote counted immediately, even though there was no way to back up if anything she had ever said was right or whether or not she should have even been there. And in the case, presidential election, we're real busy. The guy, the man that was running the provisional table, just never saw her come back. So, and there's no way we have them going back and saying, hey, this was the ballot or what have you. Once it's in the machine, it's in the machine.